Hey Libras, it's Lisa from Soul Searcher Tarot. How are you guys doing? This is your May general reading for May 2019. It is just general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everybody, but if you do like the video, or if it does resonate with you, if you could please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share. If you want to write me a comment, I'd love to hear from you. If you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. I'm glad you could be here. And if you have been here before, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. All right, so I'll shuffle up a couple times. And we'll get started. I was just noticing you guys had the new moon. Was it new moon or full moon? In your sign. I think somewhere like the 19th or 20th of April. And from what I gather, that should cause, because you guys are very balanced, like you want things to be balanced, everything's got to be fair, and that's kind of your symbol with the little just wait things. But yeah, I think maybe you we're probably trying to be, maybe we were like trying to make decisions and everything, and you do kind of weigh the odds, you weigh everything out so much, but maybe it's possible that it was a little harder to make those decisions. And I'm just kind of like talking in general here, but all right. Let's see, we got, okay, we have the Six of Swords. Now this is you. You're moving on, all right? You're looking into something and you're moving away from, maybe it's a situation, a person, but you're definitely moving away. You're like leaving behind something, all right? And this is like a nostalgia. You're thinking about things, you're going into the past, you're remembering things, possibly reunions coming up, or, or just you getting together with old friends, family that you haven't seen for a while, but you're definitely thinking back about something that was special to you. Now this is the World card, and this is an end of a cycle. It's in full completion, okay? And then right next to that, we've got the Death card, but this was in the reverse, so this is like not wanting to move on. You're not trying to change anything. You just like want to be like, you're almost afraid of change. So whatever it was that you were moving away from, and you were having the memories about it, that cycle ended. But you still don't want to move away from it. You don't want to change anything. Like you're happy with the way things are, and that's good. Let's see. And we got the Eight of Cups. Now the Eight of Cups in reverse. I'm sorry. The Eight of Cups is in reverse, and that is, you're confused and you're feeling like you're confused about something, and you're fearing a loss of something. So maybe it's possible with this moving on and this not wanting to change, and the end of this cycle, you're feeling a loss of something. So possibly a job, it could be anything. A job, a relationship, a home, anything. Let's see if we can find out anything else. Then you got the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands came up in reverse also, and that is, you're having a lack of priorities. You can't prioritize something. You can't figure out what's important, what is so important that you need to keep, and what you have to leave behind, and what you can walk away from, and what you have to stay with. So you're kind of confused on that route. Okay, and then we had the Six of Pentacles, and that came up in reverse also. And this is like you're feeling stingy. You're feeling like maybe you have some debt. You feel like you can't share anything. You're not feeling like you could be charitable or, donate to things, or you're just feeling like you need to hold on to everything. So it makes me think it's a job. And then you got your Tower. And this is a quick and sudden end to something. So you had this end of a cycle. You're moving on. You were having some nostalgia memories, or reuniting with people you haven't seen, or maybe you get together. The end of a cycle happened here, And this is not wanting to change, right? You had no intention of changing. You're afraid to change. And this is, you're feeling like I lost my train. You're confused. You're like fearing loss, and you have, you're fearing the unknown. So maybe something's going on. Could it possibly be work? Because if you have this coming in, and this feels like you can't delegate or prioritize. So you're having a hard time setting aside what's important and what's not important. And then you're feeling like selfish, maybe a little stingy, or maybe you came on to, like, maybe you have a lot of debt, or you didn't realize you had a lot of debt. But then this Tower moment happened, and this is quick and sudden, and usually it's meant to happen. It needs to happen. But it might not be something that you wanted to happen, but usually it's meant to. All right. And then we got the Four of Wands, and that also came up in the reverse. And the Four is like, there's a lack of communication here. You're having some instability, some home conflict possibly. And then we got the Queen of Pentacles. Now she is incredibly strong energy. She is, she's all about love and luxury. She's very well grounded. She's generous, and she's going to be generous with herself, with other people. So this could be your energy you're taking on, maybe because of all this hoo-ha that's going on here. Maybe this is an energy that you needed to have, or possibly this is somebody that is in your environment that's helping you out with whatever's going on here, because it's very possible. I mean, it could be a job, maybe, but I can't say that for sure at all. But then you got the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands came up, and that's creation and inspiration and desire. So you want to do something. You're feeling like you can be creative, and you can, move past this, whatever this was. And then we get the Ten of Swords. And this is a little bit betrayed, feeling stabbed in the back. So maybe something was going on, and whatever was going on here, you had like the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups and the World. That was all one section, and then that cycle ended. All right, so you were moving away from something, you were having nostalgia thoughts, and then the World was the end of that cycle. Then you had the Death in reverse, and that is fearing change. And the Eight of Cups in reverse, and that came up, and that's like confusion, and you're fearing a loss. All right, so, and then we got this when you couldn't figure out how to prioritize what was important. So I guess it's very possible this is job related, and if it was, then that would explain maybe why you would feel like you have debt, or why you were feeling stingy, because you couldn't, if you knew the job was going to go, poof, then you were feeling that way. And then you were having this issues because, if you're having instability and lack of communication and maybe some problems on the home front because the job went away, right? And then walks in this Queen person. Now, this might have been you, could have been somebody else, but somebody in your environment is here, and they have this, this creative inspiration, but then you get stabbed in the back. So, I'm going to have to clarify some of these. All right, a second. Let's just see if we can figure out. I feel like there's two stories here. Like I had the one with the, you're walking away and you're having nostalgia, and that cycle ended. So let's see if we can do the death in reverse. Why is the death in reverse here, Spirit? Can you tell me why death is in reverse? Oops, all right. Okay. All right, this is the Chariot. Now this is moving on. The Chariot is moving on. So the way I'm looking at it, or the way it feels is, okay, you're afraid to change. You're fearing that you're holding on. You're not trying to change anything, but then this is moving on. This Chariot guy is moving on. So he's moving on, and you had a whole bunch of, you were moving on here, and then you were not moving on there. So you're stuck. You're sitting there, and you're like stagnant in something. You're not sure exactly what to do, and maybe what your next step should be. Let's see. And Chariot could also be like you knowing what to do, knowing one decision, but doing something totally different. All right, let's see. 8 of Cups. Spirit, why is the 8 of Cups here? 8 of Cups for me. 8 of Cups. Oop. 8 of Cups. All right, the Knight of Coins. All right, here you go. Well, with the Knight is like a slow but steady progress, okay? So what's ever going on that you didn't want to move from, and you were feeling all kinds of, like, you know, confused and fear of loss, but you're going to start making slow and steady progress anyway, okay? 10 of Wands. Well, this is weird. 3 cards fell out. All right. And they all, on top of the 10 of Wands that I did, we got the 10 of Staffs, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 10 of Cups. So I'm thinking when you were having a hard time prioritizing what was important and what wasn't important, you also had this option. Your fortune could be changing. All right. Depending on what options you take when you're making this moving on. All right, so you have to figure out where you're going to move on to make these things come out for you. All right, that Wheel of Fortune changing, and depending on what decision you make attached to this. I am going to clarify the Tower, and then I'll clarify the 10 of Swords, just to, and maybe the Queen of Pentacles. I don't know if that's you or it's somebody else, because that's, yeah. I mean, I guess it very well could be a job, but I guess it's general, so I could be, you know, could be picking up just about anything, but. All right, you got the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups came up in reverse on top of the Tower. The Knight of Cups on the Tower in reverse is moodiness and lacking emotional response. So, I don't think, it's not a relationship. I don't feel like it's a relationship at all. Definitely not that. But maybe if it was a job, or something else was ending or finishing, you weren't as concerned about it as you thought you would be. You're not feeling that stuck about it. You're like, okay, you know, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have some issues. But I think you feel like it was going to happen and you're okay. So you didn't have a whole bunch. You're moody. You're a little annoyed, you know, probably a little depressed, a little stressed out, but it's not emotional to you. 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords. Thank you. All right. Okay, and then Ten of Swords. The Emperor and the Queen of Staffs, which is just like the Queen of Wands. That fell out. So these are probably two people in your environment. You could be taking on the energy of them, or one of them. There's somebody you know, and male or female, they're not exactly, you know, they could be any, just usually a male or female energy. More feminine, more masculine. But all right, let's see if I can see this right. So we got the sixth thing, and we knew that one. But then this, you didn't want to change. You were having a fear of change, and then that Chariot saying, okay, you're going to move on, and you are going to push that change through, or you're going to know you should do one thing and you're going to do another. All right, and then after that you have the Eight of Cups. And these Eight of Cups are saying, no, I'm confused, I don't understand what's going on. And you're fearing loss. You're fearing the unknown. Because so you know something's going on. It's going to be, you don't know it. Something's going on, but you don't know what it is. All right? And then you get this Knight of Coins, and he's just telling you it's going to be slow and steady. All right? She's just a slow, steady energy, and it's going to happen, but it'll work out. And you got all these tens. All right. You got the Ten of Wands in the reverse, and this is like you're not able to prioritize what you're doing. But when you have the Ten of Staffs, which is basically the Ten of Wands in the upright, you're feeling like this is yours. Okay, yeah. This is you doing all the work, feeling like you are working so hard to get through this. And I'm thinking that if that cycle changes, if your fortune changes, then you're going to come out with like the Ten of Cups energy, and you're going to be happy and celebrating, and things are going to go well. But that depends on what happens, like what you're able to do from this point to have that happen. Because then you still have this feeling of stinginess and debt and the Tower happening. Well, the Tower falls, but you're not that sad about it. You're okay. You did have a little bit of like upheaval in the home because like whatever you lost, whatever this was, a job, a friend, it's not a friend, a job, a house, whatever you lost here, it did kind of cause some kind of home instability, but this is you. And you're strong, and you were able to like power through it, and everything was going okay. And then you had your whole creation going on, and you're like, okay, I could do this. But then something happened. Maybe you were starting something new with somebody, like maybe a new business, a new idea, new job. And this happened because there's people in your environment that I think are maybe not with your best interest at heart. I mean, it actually feels like that with them. I mean, they didn't come upside down or nothing like that, but the Emperor, he's authority figure, he's stability. Oh, well, yes, that's right. And the Queen of Staffs, I mean, she's strong, generous in strength. And so, okay, I'm strike that, change it. I'm thinking maybe they could be picking you up because after what happened with your swords, maybe these were two people that were going to make things happier for you, better for you, or if they are involved in messing you up. Let's see, I'm going to use these cards to clarify this because now I'm curious. Why is the Queen of Staffs and the Emperor here? Queen of Staffs and the Emperor. the Hierophant, he came up upside down. And when he's upside down, he's rebellious and he's doing new approaches. So, maybe after you got stabbed in the back or betrayed in some way by these two people, you decided to take on new approaches. And I don't know if it's two people. I just think these are people in your environment, and they're, even though they came out upright, I don't feel like they're working in your best interest. It just doesn't feel like that at all. And I don't even know why, but it doesn't. So he's actually telling you, let's do some new approaches. So he wants you to do something different. So I guess that's about all. So you got some, end of a cycle here. You didn't want to move on, but it's better to move on. But I think I found this really kind of interesting. You got all these 10s. And that's kind of like, 10s is like the top. It's the best, and you have this, the Wheel of Fortune, that's changing of your fortune. And with these, it could be awesome. You're working hard, you can make things happen, you're going to celebrate. But I guess it's going to depend on what you're going to do to make that happen. Okay? So if you enjoyed the reading, please give me a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, share with somebody, and or if you want to write me a comment, I'd love to hear from you. And I'm very glad you could be here, and I will see you possibly next month or mid-month. Okay? See ya.